After another lively night of AFC action here on Fox, we're going to switch the focus to Europe with a JD show where the focus is very much on the Champions League, specifically with a look at the prospects of England's representatives. So here's what I'll be putting out there tonight. Liverpool are through. Spurs can follow as they aim to show that they can compete with Europe's big boys. Meanwhile, with City strolling the Premier League, thank goodness for this good old rivalry, keeping things interesting. And I'll be running my eye over some of the transfer stories doing the rounds in this week's Buzz, which once again will be put together by Yvette King, who's of course also tasked with getting your take on our talking points. Hi Yvette, I've got to say our mailbox has been bulging lately.
That it has? Well, let's carry on. And speaking of lasting, can Liverpool and Spurs hold their own against the big boys of Europe? And it's top four crunch time. Who will end up with the bragging rights in the clash between Liverpool and Man United at Old Trafford this weekend? Finally, are Alexis Sanchez and Paul Pogba pulling their weight for United? Tell us everything on Facebook Live. But first, John, let's chat Champions League.
Of the European variety, I think we should probably stress at this stage. So that's where we're going to be going, towards the Champions League. Let's kick things off then with the results from last night. 2 of the 8 quarter-final places have been filled by Liverpool, who were able to leave Salah and Van Dijk out from the start as they got the job finished against Porto, a 0-0, ensuring that 5-0 aggregate, while Real Madrid showed their true class against PSG, who tried everything to unsettle the champions but ended up very much second best in that 5-2 aggregate drubbing. Right, let's focus on Liverpool to start with, as seen by the newspapers, reflecting on the professionalism really of Jurgen Klopp's team as they ground out a 0-0 before turning their thoughts to the later rounds of the competition. And here it comes, because it's everybody should fear them if we look at more headlines. Jurgen Klopp, they will be trouble. Klopp's saying that Liverpool are back where they belong, acknowledging the next round will be very difficult. Now, I've heard 2 guests on this show already, Russ Wiseman and John Wilkinson, tip Liverpool to win the Champions League this season. And I've got to say, they're peaking at precisely the right time. Now, let me bring a journalistic perspective to this as I welcome James Robson of the Manchester Evening News. James, thanks very much for joining us here. Now, obviously, we're going to talk about Liverpool later in the context of this weekend's crunch clash with Manchester United. And, of course, I suppose they could also meet again in European competition. But for now, give me your take on how things seem to be coming together just right for Liverpool right now. Could you see them winning Europe's top prize?
Well, they won in 2005, didn't they? And if I'm totally honest, I did not see them winning it then. So I think this team is comparable with that, if not better. The forward line is among the best in Europe. You've got to say that, haven't you? I was at the game against City in January when they were just spectacular, and I've not seen anyone do that to City. And City right now, you would say, they're certainly the best team in the country, probably one of the best teams in Europe, and Liverpool tore them apart. So if they can do that to City, then you would say they can do it to most teams.
Now, that, of course, is the argument most people are advancing. Just stick around, James, because I'm going to point out that the biggest obstacle to any English team winning this thing is, of course, a former Manchester United player, Cristiano Ronaldo. He was at it again, as I said, in Paris last night. Really stunning. Now, scoring yet again in this season's competition, setting Real on their way against the PSG side that really wilted under the pressure. Real might have had a few problems this season, but any team containing Ronaldo has got to be in with a chance of winning any tournament it enters. I've got some stats for you before I get James's take on this one. 117 goals this season. He's got 12 in 8. Now, how about this? Since 2009, Cristiano Ronaldo has scored 102 Champions League goals. Manchester United and City have scored 98 each. OK, they haven't always been in it, but that's just daft. Top scorer in this competition for the last 5 seasons. And I think, James, you've got to say, haven't you, really, that he might only have the same number of medals as Lionel Messi, but surely he's got to be this competition's most prolific player. And if you want to get past him, it takes some doing, doesn't it?
Absolutely. You run out of things to say about him. Those stats you've just shown there, again, just show what a spectacular player he is. I think we'll miss him when he's gone, but despite what I keep hearing, I haven't got my eyes on him every week because I'm watching football in this country, but all you seem to hear, all you've heard really for the last 3 years or so, is how Ronaldo is a fading force, how he's going away. And yet every time I see him, he seems to be scoring big goals, big games, winning big trophies. For me, there is no better player on the big stage to win a match winner on the big stage. In the first leg against PSG, he probably didn't have his best game. Still scored 2 goals, effectively tied up that tie in the first leg. Scored the key goal last night. He's spectacular. He's one of the greatest players of all time.
Yeah, and we're not going to get into a debate, him and Messi or anything like that. Let's just say that you've got to get past Ronaldo at the very least. Let's look ahead, James, right now to one of tonight's games. I only say one. I'm not going to bother with Manchester City. They're all but through against Basel already. Instead, I think this is genuinely the tie of the round. Really is. That Wembley clash between Spurs and last season's beaten finalist Juventus, locked up at 2-2 after Spurs come back in Turin last time out. Now, this represents the moment of truth for Maurizio Pochettino's side in so here. In more ways than one, I'd say, because Pochettino himself says it's now time to prove that Spurs can compete with Europe's elite. Not just tonight. A bit like Liverpool right now, I'm thinking Spurs are going into this one with some real momentum. A lot's fallen into place for them. Yes, it'll be tough against Higuain, Dybala and company, but I'm not going to sit here and paint Spurs as plucky underdogs. No, I'm actually going to say they've come so far that you can't say, oh, defeat wouldn't matter, they've done well. I'm saying they should be looking to get through to the quarterfinals. James, do you agree with me? I think the evidence is here that they can and probably should win this if they've got anything about them.
Absolutely. They're one of the top teams in this country, which makes them one of the top teams in Europe. If that's the case, then you've got to be winning these games. What I would say about Spurs is that this has generally been the point when they've come unstuck. Around the point where you say, now prove it, now prove that you really are one of the elite. They tend to just disappoint. I wouldn't be surprised if Juventus snuck this one. I've got to be totally honest. If Spurs do win it, though, it'll be a major statement.
A major statement by English clubs as well. Right, stick around because we're going to get onto your specialist subject. That would be a Manchester-based club when we come back. But before we do that, let's get some thoughts from the viewers on the Champions League.
Yes, the comments are rolling in, and let's start with Wesley. He says, I feel that Liverpool has a better chance than Spurs in Europe, given the opportunity that they have more weapons in attack. An intimidating fortress in Anfield, which is magical on European nights. Plus Klopp, while not a winner, but he has led Dortmund to the final before. And Atava says Liverpool are on a roll at the moment! Exclamation mark ×3. Imagine what damage they could
The big game is fast approaching, but wait, you still haven't got your tickets. You've spent hours searching, but you're still confused about ticket prices. Time to stop searching. Visit ticketcompare.com. We compare ticket prices for all the popular leagues and tournaments for you. We work only with the most trustworthy sites, so you can have peace of mind when buying your tickets. Compare prices, buy tickets, get to the game. Ticketcompare.com. Buying tickets made simple.
Nice to meet you. Mark. Just to say, I'm going to start with Lauren. I'll say it. 3 or 4 questions. He's going to do TV. Okay.
Hi everybody. Just to say, Lauren's going to take 3 or 4 questions at the start, then nip out and do some TV work, and we'll stay on with Arsene for a few minutes.
Tutto chiaro quindi 3-4 domande per Lauren all'inizio, poi lui scappa a fare per Arsenal TV e poi la palla passa al mister Wenger.
Stop searching. Visit ticketcompare.com. We compare ticket prices for all the popular leagues and tournaments for you. We work only with the most trustworthy sites, so you can have peace of mind when buying your tickets. Compare prices, buy tickets, get to the game. Ticketcompare.com. Buying tickets made simple.
Nice to meet you, Thomas.
Just to say, I'm going to start with Lauren. I'll say it. 3 or 4 questions. He's going to do TV. Okay. And I'll say something.
Hi, everybody. Just to say, Lauren's going to take 3 or 4 questions at the start, then nip out and do some TV work, and we'll stay on with Arsene for a few minutes.
Tutto chiaro? Quindi 3-4 domande per loro all'inizio, poi lui scappa a fare però Snow TV e poi la palla passa al mister Wenger. Ok.
You're one of the few players who played here in 2012. It didn't go that well for you. 4-0, do you remember? What do you remember?
Yeah, it was a different game because I think they lost a lot of players. When we played here, they had a lot of big players like Ibrahimovic, I think Robinho, Seedorf, Mexes. It was very difficult. We lost 4-0 here. We won at home 3-0. You know, it's in this competition. It's always important, you know, because we play 2 games, and the first one, it's always very important to negotiate well. And I think when we came here last time, we didn't. So now it's a different competition, Europa League, with a good team. They rebuild the club, the team, with new players. They need time to be competitive, but they have the experience, you know, on the top level. So it will be important, you know, to be focused on this game tomorrow and to think about as well the second.
Interrompo per fare la traduzione. Ovviamente la domanda è rivolta a loro anche era qui nel 2012, l'ultima volta che le squadre si sono confrontate. E cosa si ricordava di quella sfida? Dice come te, lì era un altro Milan, anche un altro Arsenal, un'altra competizione fra l'altro. Si ricorda bene dei campioni che aveva il Milan, Ibrahimovic avete sentito, e la sconfitta netta quel giorno. Comunque adesso c'è la voglia di entrambe le squadre ripartire, costruire verso un nuovo futuro e insomma partite molto diverse rispetto a ormai 6 anni fa, però molto importante partire bene e andare nella sfida di ritorno con un buon risultato.
You know, when you have bad results, it's always difficult, you know, for the team. We were disappointed with our result, disappointed with how we played. So we need to focus on our game tomorrow, to be together. It's the most important, you know. Don't matter what's going on outside. You need to stay together, you know, like a team. We are in a negative spiral, and you know it's difficult to go out of this. So we need to have a positive vibes in our head, because the brain dictates our legs, our body, and I think we need to be positive because we have the quality. And it's just mental, you know, to push ourselves and to have a great result, you know, to give us more confidence, and step by step we come back stronger.
Quindi la domanda era se questo momento negativo dell'Arsenal potrà influire domani sera quando le squadre si incontrano. Quindi ovviamente in questo momento dobbiamo rimanere compatti, uniti, abbiamo le qualità per mettere il Milan in difficoltà e dobbiamo cercare di concentrarci più che altro su questa partita e non le cose fuori dal campo, i rumors e via dicendo. E quindi domani concentrazione massima per questa sfida e mettiamo da parte il nostro momento difficile nel campionato in Premier e in Coppa.
We'll move on to questions to Arsene now, please.
È finito per Ron, adesso le domande per il mister.
Yes, sure, we'll come to you.
Quindi sì, per prima domande ai giornalisti inglesi. Prego.
Just put your hand up.
Arsene, as far as your squad is concerned, has Hector Bellerin travelled?
No.
I gather he did train today, so what's the reason behind that then?
He's injured.
And the nature of that injury?
He has an inflammation of his left knee without ligament damage. He had yesterday a scan that was quite showing inflammation. He tried today. We need some further investigation. He had some this afternoon in hospital to know why he has so much pain, but doesn't look a long-term problem. He tried. He went out and couldn't absorb the training session, so we had to leave him behind.
Quindi Bellerin che non è stato convocato, non è venuto per un problema al ginocchio sinistro. Left knee was it, Mr. Wenger? Left knee was it?
Yeah.
Ginocchio sinistro, infiammazione, niente con ligamenti. Hanno fatto un controllo, è stato all'ospedale, sta soffrendo tanto dolore e quindi monitoreranno la situazione nei prossimi giorni. Quindi Bellerin non è convocato e non gioca.
Arsene, can you let us know of your other team news, and also how do you go about getting a reaction out of your players given the last 4 results? You know, you've wanted one and you've looked for one, you haven't got it yet. Is tomorrow night the night?
Yes. I think first, first of all, as Laurent told you, we're a bit affected by what happens, of course, because these players want to win. And by as well, not in life you forget quickly how good you are, you know, and when you have a bad week, players change their mind about their own quality. So not to forget that we are good football players, but as well to fix reachable targets, practical, be pragmatic, focus on what you can do better, and analyze well what you didn't do well, and not be scared too much about the consequences of a bad result, but focus on pragmatic things, defending better, playing quicker, doing more things together, reachable targets that you can improve the team.
Quindi
Hold on, Sammy.
For team news, apart from that, of course, Lacazette is not ready, and we had to leave Montreal behind as well because he's not ready. And he started a little session again today only, but he's not ready.
Ok, parto dalle ultime cose. Lacazette non è ancora pronto, Moer nemmeno, ha iniziato a rifacciarsi, diciamo, con la squadra in allenamento, però non è ancora pronto. La domanda invece era di nuovo sul momento negativo dell'Arsenal, e il mister ha detto che sì, certamente la squadra sta soffrendo, ha subito a livello mentale e
But what about for Arsenal? They travel to Brighton this weekend, and Arsene Wenger knows they have to put that behind them. They have to focus on the next games. They do have to build their confidence, as Arsene Wenger said. But that defeat against Manchester City, coming so soon after defeat by Manchester City in the League Cup final, where does that leave Arsenal at this stage of the season?
I don't know what you mean, Kels. In respects of top 4.
In respect. in respect of how the supporters are feeling about where the clubs are, and in respect of what
Hello boys and girls, and welcome to my preview of AC Milan versus Arsenal Europa League.
Una volta ti misi qui nel palmo della mano, ti tirai su e poi dissi a tua madre: questo è il più bel bambino del mondo. Guarda Adriana, questo bambino diventerà certamente qualcuno. E tu